Hey everybody, thank you so much for joining me today. Today is the 9th episode in my new mini-series called Back to Back, the Greatest Album Pairs of All Time. And once again, before we get started, I want to go over with you, whether you're new to this channel or new to this mini-series, what are the qualifications, in my estimation, for being the greatest album pairs of all time. And those are: 1, the two albums in question must be back-to-back in the discography. 2, they must complement one another or their companion albums, as I've said. Next, the second one, chronologically speaking, must pick up where the previous one left off in tone or mood or atmosphere or production, or there's so many variables, but in some way that you notice that, right? It's a hallmark of both of the albums. And the next one is that both albums together could be played back to back as a double album, whether you mix up the tracks or not. And both must be seminal works. So today's episode is about Styx, an American band. And we're going back, way back in their discography, to Equinox and Crystal Ball. So let's start with Equinox. Now, there is one negative here, and I'm going to get pushback from people, but I can't help the way I feel. The first song, lights up everybody, as it's part of the lyrics, just lights up, excuse me. It's a song I liked as a child, but as a much older individual, I don't care for it anymore. And the reason behind that, it has this vaudeville flavor to it. You know, in my head, I can picture Dennis DeYoung in my head doing this and this. It's just not my cup of tea. So it's too bubbly. The guitar is great though, and the lyrics are just too saccharine. So with exception of this song, this is the exception to the two albums. This is the only song on both albums I don't like. Everything else I think is fantastic. So let's go now to Lorelei. This is a much better ballad. It's a love song, of course. It's in the long list of rock songs in the 70s and 80s whose song title is a woman's name. You know, you have Lorelei, you have Jennifer on the next album, you have Rosanna on, Toto 4, I believe. You have Amanda from Boston. I'm okay with this type of stuff. Some of it I don't like, but this I do like quite a bit. Great name too, right? This is more upbeat than the previous song. Well, Lights Up is an upbeat song, just not in the flavor that I like an upbeat song to be, is what I meant to say. And you have some great soloing guitar here. Dennis's synths are just fabulous. There's some great harmony in the singing. And what did I write here? Sorry about that. At the end, you have everything fading out. I just think the way that is arranged is amazing. So anyway, great guitar, great synth from Dennis, great song. Next is Mother Dear, and I think this is a underrated gem. You have a great opening from Dennis. Then you have that segue into a different keyboard sound from the opening. And then you get some great guitar from JY, and I'm going to butcher his name, but Cyrilewski. And it's a shame that this was his last album with the band. I think he's an underrated member of the band. And he has some great subtle bass lines interwoven with the piano here. It's a short prog song, but it's prog nonetheless. Not all prog rock has to be long, epic tracks, right? It has that prog vibe to it because of the instrumentation and the arrangement. I think it's quite fabulous, if you ask me. And of course, Cyrilewski's on vocals here, and I think it would have been nice if we had more vocals from him. And it's, again, a shame with him. He passed away too young, dealing with health issues and that sort of thing. Anyway, the end of the song is very atmospheric, kind of a landscape, if you will, foreshadowing what is to come later with the Grand Illusion. So you have that Grand Illusion feel on this song near the end. I think it's just fabulous. As I said, it foreshadows that landscape, that atmospheric stuff, that more proggy stuff you get on Grand Illusion. Next is Lonely Child, another underrated gem. Great opening from Dennis with respect to his synths. Very brief though. Then you get the lovely acoustic piece that follows that. And then this is one of Dennis DeYoung's greatest vocal performances of all time here. And then you have a shift to a bit more of a heavy structured piece here, moving into that light to shade stuff, right, that we talked about in some previous videos that I did. I had this on cassette, this album, and the follow-up, and just playing these recently to do these videos just gave me some fond memories, and just never gets old, this period of Styx. And then near the end of the song, Lonely Child, you get some great heavy guitar. All right, next is Midnight Ride. This is a nice rocker from Styx. The guitar is superb. JY on vocals. Every time I hear JY on vocals, I'm like, yes, I'm so pumped up to hear JY. I wish we had more from JY in the whole discography. You have, pieces. And again, it's one of those things where, for me particularly, I know the other people as well, I love bands and I said this recently, I forget which video, but I love bands where you have more than one singer, because you get a different blend and taste and different vibes. And I think for certain bands it works. In Styx, had we more of JY and Cyrilewski, I think the band could have been even richer. But anyway, it is what it is. So JY and vocals, I love heavy Styx, and this is heavy Styx at its best. You have an amazing guitar solo. The whole song has with the exception of the vocals, has a Ted Nugent feel, and I like it. I can imagine this being a Ted Nugent song in many ways. Next is the song Born for Adventure. You have cool bass and guitar intro. You have the lyrics, Thief of the Highway, that Dennis sings. This is an unusual song from Styx in the sense that of the lyrics here. At least I think you get woman, whiskey, and sin as part of the lyrics, and then live by the sword to the end, shouts or sings rather Dennis, and then that segues into some nice guitar. And what's great about this song is you get some twin guitar from JY and Cyrilewski that it's at its finest, and it rivals that of Wishbone Ash, Judas Priest, Iron Maiden, Thin Lizzy. It's that good. I wish there was more of this, that twin guitar harmony from the band, but it is what it is, as I said. Too bad, again, you didn't have more of this specific type of twin guitar harmony style from the two members of the band here. Next, you get Prelude, which is a prelude to Sweet Madam Blue, the last song on the album. It's very brief. You have that opening acoustic piece that is very reminiscent of Yes. And I'm trying to think of what Yes song. I played it today. I'm like, this reminds me of Yes, but I can't think of the song. Anyway, so something from Close to the Edge or Fragile. It's one of those. Anyway, so it's a great opening intro to Sweet Madam Blue. So let's talk about Sweet Madam Blue for a minute. Of course, it's a pun. The word sweet, that is my favorite song on the album, and it's my favorite song by them, totally. And the lyrics are phenomenal. I know I'm a fool, but what can I do? Just singing that, listening to it, gives me chills every time. Never gets old. This is one of those slow build-up songs. This is Styx's Stairway to Heaven in many ways, that movement from slow to heavy, that build-up, right? The chorus is just great. When it kicks in, you get, the lyrics, Heaven's Door from Dennis, and then you get some acoustic, and then Dennis's synthesizers, and then it ends with that synthesizer ends with a fluttery flourish, right? And then the heavy guitar kicks in, and then you get that guitar sustain, which I just love, and that gives me more chills every time I hear that guitar sustain, where the song is going into heavier waters. And again, it gives me chills right now thinking about it. And then you get the solo after that sustain, which is just miraculous. It's magic. And then the song shifts from that point on with respect to lyrics. You're now moving into Dennis singing America, right? I love it. And it's repeated throughout the rest of the song quite a bit. And then thematically or story-wise, you get Dennis saying, lead us away from here. So we're looking to America, or the female personification or whatever of America, as a savior, as a messiah. And then there's a flourish where all the instruments come together and ends the track. It's just fabulous. Great, great song. All right, deep breath. Crystal ball. Great album cover, which foreshadows two of the songs in the album. This is Tommy Shaw's debut, and as far as Styx goes, he's my favorite member of all time. So the opening track is Put Me On, and the opening seconds of the song has a similar vibe to Lights Up on Equinox, but it's so much better. And the vibe doesn't last long. It shifts into different waters. But this opening part of Put Me On is like a companion to Lights Up. And so hence the theme of this series, the, back-to-back albums that they're so similar, right? The overall mood and atmosphere of Light Up is contained in just the opening seconds. And again, as I said, it shifts to a much better song. It's very proggy in many ways. It's faster paced. Tommy Shaw's voice, I think you get a hint of. It's definitely JY's voice at times here in addition to Dennis. It's great, I love it. You have this fanfare type keys from Dennis. It's prog heavy rock at its finest in many ways. There's an amazing solo halfway through the song. The guitar tone is fabulous. Dennis returns the last 1/3 of the song back to him singing the vocals primarily, if not the rest of the way out, just him. And there's some nice harmony, drift away repeated. And then that segues into some heavy guitar. And then we're back to the motif or reprise of the intro to the song. So it becomes full circle. You get that Lights Up feel to end the song, and it's great. I love it. Next is a hit off the album, Mademoiselle. It's a hit, as I said. Tell me where you going, sweet, right? Fabulous, great vocals. Dennis and Tommy here. Great bass. Great melody and harmony here. It's just a fabulous song. The next is another song in the vein of, the song title is A Woman's Name. So we get to Jennifer, underrated gem. Song has a certain charm to it, if you ask me. It's light and shade. You get great vocals from Dennis, great guitar solo. I'm not sure if it's Tommy or JY, but either way, it was great. I think the song is fantastic, actually. And then there's a shift. The last fourth of the song, give or take, is an acoustic bit. There's a soundscapey feel to it. There's this vibe of that and dreamy sounds. And that's how the song ends. And I think this song is definitely underrated. Next is the title track. And you get the image on the album cover, right? More to come with that. So there's a crystal ball being held up by two hands, right? And in the vein of Tarot Woman by Rainbow and Gypsy from Deep Purple, the song is about, I'm in despair because I don't know my future. It's uncertain. I'm despairing, that sort of thing. This is my favorite of those three songs. It's a light and shade song, right? It's acoustic, then it gets heavy. Great vocals from Tommy. This is Tommy's debut where he sings, correct me if I'm wrong, the entire song from start to finish. I can't get enough of the vocals here. Fantastic lyrics as well. This is a Styx, song-wise, this is a masterpiece, right? It's one of the greatest title tracks of all time, if not the greatest title track of all time. It's very emotional. Dennis's backup vocals. As far as Dennis, when he does backup vocals, this is him at his best. And his keys are dynamite, as always. The solo here, the guitar solo is superb. And the outro solo or outro piece of the guitar is nice and it fades out. It's fabulous, great song. Next is Shoes, spelled incorrectly S-H-O-O-Z, because it's a very bluesy approach to rock music. Styx not known for this type of bluesy approach. Kansas did this two songs on their first 5 or 6 albums, right? This works much better than the way Kansas tried to do it. You have the ooh, ooh, ooh stuff going on. I don't mind that so much. Great guitar here. You have that screaming, screeching style tone to the guitar here. It works. More Tommy on vocals. Underrated song. It's fantastic. Next is This Old Man. This is one of Styx's best emotive, moving tracks. You have some great electric opening guitar here. Dennis's voice, once again, is fabulous. And it goes well, pairs nicely with the acoustic guitar that matches with his phrasing. Halfway through the song, it gets really proggy, and you have the xylophone style sounding synthesizers or keys, and the chorus and the guitar is fabulous. I just love it. I think this is an underrated gem as well. And then finally we get to Claire de Lune / Ballerina. And this is the second part of the album cover. Within the crystal ball, you have a ballerina, right, dancing, or still, right? You have that opening piano, which is the Claire de Lune part. Classical, nice touch, of course, part of what makes Styx prog band, those classical flourishes. And then it shifts to the ballerina part of the song. This has got some great soft-spoken vocals from Dennis with some soft, I wrote, it's soft-spoken vocals from Dennis with oxymoronic, soft, crunching guitars back in the mix, in the background of the mix, not right up front, and it works well with Dennis's soft-spoken vocals. And then you get some of the best la-la-la stuff. Normally I'm not a big fan of that. Zebra comes to mind, I like that, but this is better than Journey doing la-la-la type vocals. You know, well, that's na-na-na, right? But you get my point. So gibberish, right, so to speak, but it works. You get, as I said, some great la-la-la stuff. Then you get some heavy, amazing guitar. So you get a heavy, amazing guitar solo that follows that la-la-la piece. It's JY and Tommy, I believe, at the same time. So back to that twin guitar stuff. So this, again, is a song that is a masterpiece in the sense that you're moving from light to shade. First half of the song, light. Second half, so that's a slow build up from light to shade. This is one of the best light to shade songs of all time, and I didn't include that in my video where I talked about that. This is how to end an album, folks. And after you get the guitar solo, you have the return to vocals, which meets up with the outro guitars, which is just fabulous. Again, great way to end an album. So this is my 9th pick in my series. Of my 20, I may be doing 21 now because I thought of something else. More to come on that. So thank you so much for watching. Again, Styx's Equinox and Crystal Ball, I think, are two of the greatest albums of all time, and therefore they are two of, and because they're so connected and so similar in so many ways, they are two of the greatest album pairs of all time. Thank you again for watching. Happy New Year. Take care now. Bye.